Alright, we are back to another Dragon Ball Super card game video. This one is a deck profile featuring, of course, the green, yellow, golden Frieza. Look at that big ass title thing. It's a new format. It's different, but cool, I feel like. If you like this format, as I do break this down and then go into the gameplay right after, let me know in the comments below. If you don't like it, speak your mind, or else I'm going to do it, or do whatever I want in the first place. This one does feature some of the new draft box stuff, and it's actually pretty good. So, going to the deck itself, for those who are degenerate and just want the list itself without any kind of explanation, this is it. It does look like a regular ass lemon lime deck, but as you add in some of the new stuff, you kind of figure out like, damn, this is pretty good comparative to it. And yeah, I have revisited this, or I've had visited it before, and this is kind of a revisitation to Lemon Lime Frieza. And the one before does have the Broly line and a couple other stuff, and there's lists, you know, here and there. But honestly, this one is probably going to be one of the more like standard slash, okay, let's add some more cool stuff into it and get what you need from it. And honestly, it works out. Originally, this was a mono yellow deck, if anything, and it played the 2-drop Frieza with the other 2-drop that takes a life, and you play a 3-cost right after it with the Deadly Defender. But the issue was that I didn't really like how the ratios were. I felt like I wasn't really doing anything. I was really defending more than anything else, and all the yellow options that I had, even with the new Bardock and as well as the Goku Ape over here, were okay at best. With this, you have more targets with the Frieza Army clan, or the Frieza Army, and as well as just green in general is pretty good, as in, hey, I want to, you know, break down your hand and deny some of that stuff. For this overall, if you take a look at the pros and cons, it is pretty much the fun version of Solitaire. Like, honestly, you do like 4 or 5 actions per turn well, yeah, 4 or 5 actions per turn. You do have multiple attackers in the 10k, 15k type of range around there, especially with the Krillin in 18. It does get kind of out of hand. The untapping ability is pretty cool with the hand destruction. Those are the two main things with the Golden Frieza and Lemon Lime. You do have access to Cobalt S. Yes, there's only one of them, but honestly, this has saved my ass quite a lot. Yes, it's not at 4. Yes, it's a little bit different on a competitive level. Oh well. And it does get draw heavy. Like, honestly, if the sequency goes right, it's a pretty damn good deck as far as keeping a hand goes, and keeping a board as well. Unfortunately, the cons are a little bit annoying with multiple answers. And I'm not even saying multiple answers within every color, but multiple answers in general, with Tao being only a 1-cost, which will kind of annoy this if you don't side something in to deal with it. You kind of get, it's like this effect in Cheatlai, and as well as Speedy Partner are all kind of negated with Tao in a best of 3. If you're not taking this to a best of 1, the best card that will kind of help with that is the 1-drop Frieza. The reason why I don't play him in this build is because it's more of a best of 3 card for me, and it's not like anybody's going to be mainboarding Tao outside of like complete back decks, like mono black decks like Toa, maybe Demigra. If anything, we do have every color Borgos, like Reddit, shout out to Joel, I hate you, actual Borgos, Whis, I think the Kami, right? Kami? All of them are all in every color. And then we have Haru counterplays, stuff like the Source of Power Goku, and like Chi-Lai, maybe even Red and Red-Green are kind of difficult because of that. And this whole deck sort of lacks removal. Yes, you do have Dimension Banisher, the Mass Saiyan, the Vegeta, and as well as the Bardock that does work here. But you know, Alright, let's move on to talk through the cards. The Army Core, the Frieza Army Core, is basically this. I do have 3 Avenging Frieza simply because the Frieza's Call does the same thing without whiffing. Like, you'll always have a target for Frieza's Call, and you can always put out an Avenging Frieza, so I'd rather play this at 4 to awaken early and to also have a chance to play Speedy Partner Limo, or at least Chi-Lai the Beautiful, because both of those don't really need to be in active mode to get the best effect. Plus, you can have that as your energy or leader fodder, basically. And of course, we have the Chi-Lai that plays out the 2. and just overall, is really just versatile. Like it's just, it sucks having it in your hand sometimes, especially if you draw into it. But that's why you kind of mulligan for one, and sort of plan it around your hand basically, because you really don't play very many extra cards. So excluding the Frieza's Call, you only play the Time Magic, and you only play the Cold Bloodlust. With Broly and as well as Shenron in the meta, you'll run into it, and there are a number of other cards that restand or have dual attack, like the Kefla. So I think this is a pretty good ad, not Flying Nimbus. Plus, it's the Sparking Negate, which is always good. Anyway, going back to the other stuff, Surprise Attack Frieza is pretty damn good in this, because you do attack cards that you do rest within the Bardock, and it is in compilation with the the Chile the Beautiful is in correlation with that, or in partnership, whatever you want to call it. And overall, it's just pretty good. Of course, we have the searchable super combo with the Avenging Frieza, the one drop Frieza that helps you awaken, and of course, dropping one with there's a Chile on board, either one of these, and then you KO something, they drop one. So pretty standard stuff. The new stuff comes in with this. I think these two are different in the main board since my last deck profile, now that we're revisiting it. And of course, these three here, if you didn't know, this one says the activate main, you send this to your drop to your warp, and you draw 2 cards. Honestly, this has been pretty damn good when you get to draw 3. And if it's your awakening turn, you technically get to draw 6. So 2 from this, 1 from the Frieza's Army pop, draw 2, and then swing. That's another. So 6 cards. Pretty cool. I think I would play this at 3 maybe, but just to keep the Frieza's Army and as well as the Avenging Frieza targets on lock, I think it'd be good just to put it at 2. You really only need to resolve it once, if anything, and it's good. I mean, honestly, again, it's a draw 3 on the awakened side, and you didn't really lose any energy other than just getting to untap. And then we have the Bardock. If you didn't know this one, of course, I reviewed it in my top 10 for the draft box. It's a double striker 20k, and when you combo with the 2 energy, if your leader card is yellow, you get to play it, and then when you play it, you draw 1 and you tap one of their cards to rest mode. And this one is damn good. Like, again, these two in correlation with each other are very good for 2 energy, and they're very situational. But turn 2, I usually have this guy out. After the first turn, I I play something, draw or search, and then I pop it and play something again. As long as that something is still there next turn, I get to swing, combo this for 20, and then play it out, draw 1, and tap something if they played something as well. Then I can go ahead and untap 1 and pop 1 and draw, and then you just kind of keep going, and that's usually the basis for that. And then now with the Krillin and 18, yes, you can probably charge this 1 time, and then if you have a Frieza's Army card on the board, and then untap it right after, which is probably the coolest interaction for this card. But the other part of it is that you do have a lot of fodder, stuff like the Speedy Party Limo, if you don't want to pay 2 to cast it, or the Frieza, and then as well as a super combo, or one of these guys to combo it out and then play this one out. This is one green for green and yellow after arrival, and then you get to choose one of dropping 1 card from their hand, or you get to negate the skills on a battle card in rest mode for the racing turn. The cool thing about that is that it acts like a God Strike Beerus, in which if they're swinging with triple strike and they dump everything out, you arrival and pay 1 green, and now they don't have triple strike, you take 1. I've done that, and it's pretty damn good. Source of Power is just another awakening method. I only put this at 2 simply because with the Frieza, you get the effect no matter what, unless they Cold Blast it or do something else with it. With counter plays running around, other than desperate measures, this is probably the more susceptible to that. But if you know that you can play around it, or you can hard cast it and then swing twice and grab 2 life, it is a really good value card for a 20k attacker. It's just one of those standard cards you can have. And then the Vegeta is just good for removal, and as well as for Borgos and all the other cards. These are good for another Borgos and U6. I use that in the gameplay. This is for spot removal, and this is a fucking good finisher in this deck. Let's get to the gameplay. Okay, so here's the gameplay. Full disclosure, I do still have the Destructive Occupation Frieza in here. It's at 2, which I don't think this deck really did too much. as far as that goes, or at least that those cards did too much for the deck that is in this game. I don't have the Vegetas in correlation, or at least instead of the 3-drop Friezas. I think really the reason why I didn't want to do that anymore is because, or use them anymore, is because it's just too much. It was too situational. A lot of decks don't want to attack. This deck, the reason why I play the Chilai and popped it is because I thought he was going to go ahead and swing, and I can go ahead and use the Destructive Occupation. It didn't turn out to be that way, because now I don't have the 15k attacker, and it doesn't really help too much. I did go ahead and play the Bardock for 2, tapped down the Khalifa, and went to town on that ass, and now it's dead. Now he's going to go ahead and play the 2-cost Kale from Planet Saldala, and I think he whiffs here, which was a big play for me. Like, he definitely whiffed there, which was really unfortunate for him, but it is what it is, I guess. I went ahead and swung with the Kale, going to what is that? 24, 29, which I went ahead and elected to go ahead and kill off. I drew into the Massane, which is really good. Drew into the 1-drop Frieza, which is also pretty damn good, because now I have a pop target. I now have the Frieza, which I'm gonna go ahead and play to get another card. Go ahead and swing here, and then use this to get a 20k body on the board and make him drop 1, because usually the turn 3, the reason why I did that, turn 3, they'll start tapping down your energy. I'd rather go ahead and aggress just a little bit here. I'm sitting at 6 life, it's not that big of a deal. And I went ahead and used the effect and passed. So I have an option to go ahead and use, and he went ahead and tapped it down. So just like I was saying, I was like, he's probably gonna go ahead and start tapping my stuff down. I don't think there was any other. Well, I could have untapped 1 and then drew into the 1-drop and then played it for the yellow. I would say versus Kaba, you do want to go ahead and just use all your energy when you can, if you have that option. I'm getting too close to that 5 in the drop, so I keep checking that for the Massane, so I can go ahead and warp some of these little boys and girls, just girls really. And here's another Kale. I think this one he goes ahead and finds the target, which is good. From the top 5 Saldala, and then now the top 10 plays out the Khalifa, which top 5, and plays the Kefla. I do have 5 in the drop, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this one, and he's gonna go ahead and Union. Swing. I'm gonna go ahead and Time Magic. Make sure he can't really do anything else there. Went into another Time Magic. I charged the Destructive Occupation, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and warp some of this stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and warp the Kefla, and as well as the Khalifa. Go ahead and get the top 3, which really didn't help me here. But I go ahead and draw into another Frieza's Call, which is really just annoying. I don't have a Chilai on board, but I'm gonna go ahead and draw 1 for that, and then untap 2 afterwards. Swing leader to leader. I think I get a Krillin out. Pretty sure I get a Krillin out. Yep. And he drops 1. The reason why I do this is to kind of pick at his hand. I wish I had a Bardock here, so that I can go ahead and swing into the Khalifa and play out a Chile the Beautiful, that type of thing. Going to 25, because a super combo, like 25 is a really good place to be. And now I'm going to go ahead and swing with Double Strike. The issue here is that you do want to, like, you want to go all in, but you also don't want to tap out completely, which here he didn't get the boost because I didn't tap out completely, but he does use his entire hand going for 60k Double Strike. So I counted out, he goes to 65. I say lame, but I respectively pass. My hand looking pretty good compared to his 3 and a leader swing. I'm most likely going to go ahead and counter anything that he throws at me, and then Cold Blast the next, and then counter again, basically. There's that first counter, and as well that first Vados and Champa. Here's another destructive occupation. I may have played 3 here. I'm not sure. Messed around the ratios, but that's really the only difference in this deck. And honestly, like I said, I didn't play any of them. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is where he disconnects. So I can't really do anything much about this. I was just like, what am I doing? I'm just gonna go ahead and play. I'm pretty sure. So I'll go ahead and play out the Frieza, get to top 3, get a super combo, which is just awesome. And I change my energy, untap 2, and now I get the swing for leader, and now he's like, I think I lose here. So I was like, okay, that's it guys, that's the gameplay. I took the game, let's just put it that way. That is the list. Let me know what you think so far as far as this updated Golden Frieza. With all the new draft box stuff, or a few new draft box stuff, including Krillin and the Bardock Ape goodness. I enjoy the deck quite a lot. The next one I'm going to be doing is Mass Saiyan, which is red-green. It is very, very good. Very, very fun to play. I'm not going to say it's super good, but definitely fun to play. It can disrupt a lot of different things, and it's a pretty good road deck. Honestly, I always go back to Mass Saiyan. I always go back to this. No surprise here. Subscribe if you're new. Like, dislike, all that stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Later.